Welcome back to This Day in Scottish History. I'm your host, Colin MacDonald, and today we're turning back the clock to November 30th, 1872, a momentous day in the history of football. On this date, the first ever official international football match took place between Scotland and England at Hamilton Crescent Partick in Glasgow. This groundbreaking encounter, which ended in a 0-0 draw, is officially recognised by FIFA as the dawn of international football. Before this historic match, there had been a handful of unofficial games between the two nations. These were organised by Charles Alcock, the Secretary of the Football Association, but they often sparked controversy. Many of the Scottish players in these games were based in England, which led to criticism from fans north of the border. In 1872, a solution was found when Queen's Park Football Club, Scotland's leading team at the time, stepped forward to represent the nation. For the first time, an entirely Scottish team, drawn exclusively from Queen's Park, would take the field. The match was scheduled for St Andrew's Day, an apt choice for showcasing Scottish identity and pride. The venue for the game was the West of Scotland Cricket Club's ground, Hamilton Crescent. Although primarily a cricket ground, it was adapted to host this historic match. On a snowy day, 4,000 spectators gathered to witness the event, paying a shilling each to attend. This was the same admission price charged earlier that year for the inaugural FA Cup final. The Scottish players wore dark blue jerseys, a tradition borrowed from their rugby counterparts, who had worn similar colours with a thistle emblem in their match against England the previous year. England's team wore white shirts and caps, contrasting sharply with the Scots' attire. The game began slightly later than scheduled, kicking off around 2:20 p.m. The match itself was played under the early laws of the game, which were still evolving. Goalkeeping duties, for instance, were shared among the players, with Scotland's captain Robert Gardner starting in goal before rotating with teammate Robert Smith. England followed a similar system with Robert Barker and William Maynard alternating as goalkeepers. Scotland played a formation featuring two fullbacks, two halfbacks, and six forwards, while England fielded an even more attacking lineup with eight forwards. Despite England's aggressive setup, Scotland's cohesive play, born from their shared experience at Queen's Park, gave them an edge. The Scots excelled at dribbling and defending, frequently disrupting England's advances. Scotland came close to scoring on several occasions. In the first half, they had a goal disallowed after the ball was judged to have passed over the tape that served as a makeshift crossbar. Later in the game, Robert Leckie nearly secured victory with a shot that landed on top of the tape, narrowly missing the mark. The English team improved their coordination in the second half, but neither side managed to find the net. Despite the goalless draw, the match was widely celebrated as a triumph of sport. Spectators cheered both teams enthusiastically at the final whistle, recognising the significance of what they had just witnessed. Reports from the time described the match as an outstanding display of skill and spirit. The Aberdeen Journal called it the best game ever seen in Scotland, while the sports publication, The Field, praised the players for their energy and teamwork. The camaraderie between the teams and the fans further underscored the event's success. Though it ended without a winner, this match laid the foundation for international football. It established Scotland and England as pioneers in the global game and set the stage for what would become one of the sport's oldest and most celebrated rivalries. Today, we honour the players who took part in that historic encounter and the visionaries who made it happen. As we reflect on the events of November 30th, 1872, we're reminded of how far football has come, from a snowy cricket ground in Glasgow to the massive global phenomenon it is today. Yet, the essence of the game, its ability to unite people and celebrate competition, remains unchanged. Thank you for joining me on this journey through history. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another tale from Scotland's rich and fascinating past. Until then, haste ye back.